All right, so I've been reading the Bhagavad Gita, and it seems to me that it's a very good book. I read 50 pages into it. It's the introduction, the introduction of it. So it still has the quotes here and there from it and some explanations and things. But I want to explain to you what is the meaning of our lives, rather, what is the goal of our lives. The goal of our lives is to achieve God realization. God realization is not some fancy thing that you don't understand, it's very practical. You see, there is the true self, the Atman, and there is the false self, the ego. Okay? And God realization is realization of the true self, the Atman. So your Atman, your soul, your true self, your spirit is itself God. Now everybody has an Atman, everybody has a soul, and everybody is has the same goal, a supreme goal of attaining God realization. So, to put it more simply, let me explain it this way. How do we know if it's the Atman? How do we know if it's God? Well, the God is not changing and it's eternal. Every one of us has the same Atman inside of it, has the same God inside of us, the same Atman inside of us. So nobody is more privileged than anyone else. So if it changes or if it dies, it's not God. And you see all the differences between everything around you, right? If it's different from something else, it's not God. So it'll die and pass away. It's the ego. It's not the real self. So the supreme goal, basically for all eternity, is to know God, to realize, slash, to put it simply, understand God within yourself. And the way you do this is by defeating the ego. The ego is the opposite of unchanging and eternal. It's changing. It'll die. It'll pass away. It'll shape. It'll mold into different forms and things like this. But the ego essentially is that kind of psychological or mental or even spiritual thing inside of you that basically says, I want to win and I want others to be my losers. So that's what is really going on when you say ego is the enemy. You know, we're all in this battlefield. The battle against the ego is not only personal within your own self, within your own ego or Atman sides. It's in the world around you as well. It's social too. So it's a war right now that we have against the egos of the world and within our own self. So in summary, you have an Atman side, which is God itself, the unchanging, the eternal. Your goal is to seek that and know it and stay close to it. And the ego is basically the part of you that you have to deny and resist and resist and resist it, so that you can be one with the God within you, which is the Atman.